My wife texted from the mountains. Girls' trip extended. Freedom feels better up here, no rules. I didn't get angry. Didn't ask a single question. I just did one thing that an ordinary husband would never do. When she came back, the first apology wasn't to me. It was to her own decision. And by then, it was already too late. I'm 35, and I've been married for 7 years. My wife and I met in our late 20s, got married after dating for 2 years, settled into what I thought was a solid partnership. We both worked demanding jobs, shared responsibilities at home, had what looked like a balanced life. No kids yet. We'd talked about it but kept putting it off because of careers, timing, always some reason to wait. 3 weeks ago, she announced she was taking a girls' trip to the mountains. 4 days, long weekend, reconnecting with her college friends. I didn't think much of it. She'd been stressed at work, talking about needing a break. I encouraged her to go, told her to have fun, enjoy the time away. She left on a Thursday morning, kissed me goodbye, rolled her suitcase out to the car, drove off smiling. Normal. Everything seemed normal. That first day, I got a few texts. Made it safely. Cabin is beautiful. Miss you already. Standard stuff. I responded with encouragement, told her to relax, sent her a photo of our dog doing something goofy. Day 2, the texts slowed down. Just a photo of the view with no caption. I sent back a thumbs up. Figured she was busy catching up with friends. Day 3, Saturday evening, I got a text that made me pause. Girls' trip extended. Freedom feels better up here, no rules. I read it 3 times. The phrasing was strange. Freedom feels better up here. No rules. What rules? We didn't have rules. We had a marriage, a partnership, mutual respect. What did no rules mean? I didn't get angry, didn't immediately call her or text back demanding explanations. Instead, I sat with it. Thought about the past few months, about how she'd been distant, how she'd started going out more without me, how she'd stopped asking about my day, how conversations had become transactional, logistics about bills and schedules, nothing deeper, and I realized I'd been ignoring signs because acknowledging them would mean facing something I didn't want to face. I didn't ask a single question. Instead, I did one thing that an ordinary husband would never do. I called a lawyer. Update one Monday morning, while my wife was still in the mountains enjoying her freedom, I took a personal day from work and met with a divorce attorney. Not because I'd definitively decided to divorce her, but because I wanted to understand my options, my rights, what the process would look like if it came to that. The lawyer was straightforward. Has there been infidelity? I don't know. Possibly. Do you want to find out? I want to be prepared either way. We talked for 2 hours. He explained how assets would be divided, what alimony might look like, how the process worked in our state. Gave me a checklist of things to document: financial records, property titles, evidence of separate assets versus marital assets. My advice, he said as I was leaving, don't make any sudden moves. Gather information first, then decide what you want to do. I went home and started going through our finances, not looking for evidence of an affair, just understanding the full picture. What was in whose name, what we owned jointly, what debts existed. That's when I found the credit card I didn't know about. In her name only, opened 6 months ago. I'd never seen statements because they went to her work email. But we had a shared filing system for important documents, and buried in a folder labeled Old Tax Returns was a single statement from 2 months ago. Charges at bars, restaurants I'd never been to, a hotel, all in our city, all on weeknights when she'd told me she was working late or meeting friends. I sat at the desk staring at the statement, felt something cold settle in my chest. This wasn't just a suspicious text from a girls' trip. This was a pattern. I took photos of the statement, saved them to a secure cloud account, put the original back exactly where I'd found it. Then I kept looking, found more credit card statements hidden in digital folders, found receipts in her car tucked into the glove compartment. Found a second phone charger I didn't recognize in her gym bag. Every discovery was like another brick in a wall I was building. Evidence, documentation, protection. By Tuesday evening, I had a folder full of information. I still hadn't responded to her text about extending the trip. She'd sent a few more messages asking if I was okay, if something was wrong. I'd responded minimally. Fine. Busy with work. Have fun. She came home late Wednesday night. I heard her car pull into the driveway around 11. Heard her unlock the front door, drag her suitcase inside. I was in the living room with the TV on, not really watching. Hey, she said, appearing in the doorway. You're still up. Couldn't sleep. I missed you. Did you? Something in my tone made her pause. What's wrong? How was the trip? It was good, really good. I needed that break. Extended it, I noticed. Yeah, we were having so much fun. Decided to stay a few extra days. You got my text, right? I did. Freedom feels better up here, no rules. Interesting phrasing. It was just, letting loose. No schedules, no responsibilities. Just enjoying being in the moment. What rules were you referring to? What? You said no rules. What rules were you escaping? I didn't mean, it was just a figure of speech. Jesus, why are you interrogating me? I'm not interrogating. I'm asking about your text. It meant nothing. I was drunk when I sent it. The girls and I were joking around. About freedom from your marriage. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. She dropped her bag. What is this? I go on one trip with my friends and you're acting like I committed a crime? One trip, right. Just this one. What's that supposed to mean? How many late-night work meetings have you actually had in the past 6 months? Her face changed. Just slightly, but I saw it. Guilt, recognition, fear. I don't know what you're implying. I'm not implying anything. I'm asking directly. How many of those nights you said you were working late were actually work? All of them. I've been swamped. The hotel charge on your credit card, the one I didn't know existed. Was that work too? She went pale. You went through my things? We're married. Nothing should be hidden. That's different. That's invading my privacy. And lying about where you are isn't? I haven't lied. You have a separate credit card you never told me about, with charges at hotels and bars in the middle of the week. You just extended a girl's trip with a text about freedom and no rules. You've been distant for months, and you expect me to believe nothing's going on? She sat down on the couch, put her face in her hands. I waited. It's not what you think, she finally said. Then tell me what it is. Update 2. She started crying, the kind of crying that's designed to make you feel guilty, to make you the bad guy for pressing. I'd seen it before, but this time I didn't soften. I've been confused, she said through tears. About us, about what I want, about whether I made the right choices. So you've been having an affair? No, not an affair, just someone I've been talking to, a friend. A friend you meet at hotels. We haven't done anything physical, just talked. He listens to me in ways you don't anymore. It's not romantic, it's just someone who gets me. Someone you're meeting secretly and charging hotels to secret credit cards for. We got the hotel room once because the bar was closing, and we weren't done talking. We just talked. That's it. I leaned back and looked at her. Really looked at her. Saw the defensiveness, the half-truths, the manipulation in real time. Do you think I'm stupid? What? Do you genuinely think I'm stupid enough to believe that? It's the truth. You get a hotel room to talk. A hotel room you charge to a credit card I'm not supposed to know about. And you're just talking. For 6 months of secret meetings, you're just talking. Yes. What's his name? That doesn't matter. It does to me. I'm not telling you. It would just make things worse. Things are already worse. They can't get much worse than your wife having a secret emotional affair and lying about it for months. It's not an affair. What would you call it? She didn't answer, just cried harder. I stood up. I'm sleeping in the guest room. We'll talk more tomorrow when you're ready to be honest. Where are you going? I told you. Guest room. Don't do this. Don't shut me out. I'm not shutting you out. You shut me out months ago. I'm just catching up. I went upstairs, locked the guest room door, lay on top of the covers, staring at the ceiling, heard her moving around downstairs, heard her crying, heard her eventually come up to bed in our room. Didn't care. Not anymore. Update 3. The next morning, Thursday, I woke up early and left before she got up. Went to a coffee shop, then to work. Kept my phone on silent. She called 6 times, texted repeatedly. I ignored all of it. Around noon, I met with my lawyer again. She admitted to an emotional affair, I told him. Claims nothing physical happened. I don't believe her. Do you want to pursue divorce? I want to be ready if that's where this goes. Then we should move forward with documentation. File soon so you control the timeline. Even if you reconcile, having the paperwork started gives you leverage. Won't that make things worse? Things are already bad. You're just protecting yourself. I authorized him to draft the paperwork. Told him to hold off on filing until I gave the word, but to have everything ready. That evening, I came home around 7. My wife was in the kitchen, looking exhausted. She'd clearly been crying most of the day. We need to talk, she said. Okay. I'm sorry. For all of it. For lying, for the credit card, for the texts. You're right. I've been selfish and I've hurt you. Okay. That's it? Just okay? What do you want me to say? You've admitted to lying for months, having secret relationships, hiding money. What response are you expecting? I want you to fight for us, to say you want to work on this. Do you want to work on it? Yes, of course I do. Then tell me everything, his name, how you met, when it started, what exactly has happened, all of it. She hesitated. I could see her calculating what to admit, what to hold back. If you hesitate even for a second, we're done, I said. This is your one chance to be completely honest. If I find out later you held anything back, there's no coming back from that. His name is, she told me, a co-worker, someone from her department. They'd started talking at a work conference 6 months ago. It began as friendship, then turned into more. They'd meet for drinks after work, then dinners, then eventually that hotel room. She swore nothing physical happened beyond a kiss. One kiss, she said, that made her realize she'd crossed a line. When was the kiss? 2 weeks ago. Before the girls' trip. Yes. So when you went on that trip, you'd just kissed another man and decided you needed freedom and no rules. Was he there? What? On the trip. Was he there? No, it was just the girls. I don't believe you. I swear. You swear. Like you swore we didn't have secrets. Like you swore you were working late all those nights. Your swearing means nothing to me anymore. She broke down completely, begging me to believe her, to forgive her, to give her another chance, promised to cut off all contact with him, to quit her job if necessary, to do whatever it took. I listened to all of it with nothing. No emotion, no sympathy, just cold observation. I need time, I said finally. Time to think. Time to decide if I even want to try to save this. How much time? However long I need. Can we at least stay in the same room? I can't stand this distance. No, I'll stay in the guest room until I decide what I want. This isn't fair. I made a mistake, but I'm trying to fix it. You made dozens of mistakes over 6 months. You built an entire secret life. You lied repeatedly. This isn't one mistake. This is a pattern of deception. So you're just going to punish me forever? I'm protecting myself while I figure out if you're worth the effort of forgiveness. Update 4. Over the next 2 weeks, I watched my wife try to prove herself. She quit her job, cut off all contact with the other man, showed me the blocked number, the deleted social media connections, started therapy, gave me passwords to everything, tried to be transparent, but I didn't care. Not really. Because I'd already made my decision that first night when I called the lawyer. Everything since then was just confirmation. On a Tuesday morning, 2 weeks after she came back from the mountains, I had the divorce papers delivered to her at home. I'd moved out the day before while she was at a therapy appointment. Took my things, took the dog, left my key on the kitchen counter. She called me immediately, hysterical. "What are you doing? We were working on things." "You were working on things. I was deciding, and I've decided." "You can't just give up. Not after everything I've done to fix this." "Everything you've done? You mean quitting a job you should have quit the moment you started having an inappropriate relationship? Cutting off contact with someone you should never have been involved with in the first place? Those aren't sacrifices. Those are the bare minimum consequences of your choices." "I love you. Doesn't that mean anything?" "Not anymore. You killed whatever I felt when you spent 6 months lying to me, when you kissed someone else, when you texted me about freedom and no rules from a trip that was probably just another lie. The trip was real. It was just my friends." "Maybe, maybe not. I'll never know because I can't trust anything you say." "Please don't do this. We can fix this. I know we can." "I don't want to fix it. I want out." "You're being cruel." "I'm being honest. Something you never were." She tried everything over the next few weeks. Showed up at my new apartment, called my family, called my friends, sent long emails explaining herself, apologizing, begging. Her lawyer tried to negotiate, to slow things down, to push for reconciliation clauses. My lawyer shut it all down. We were in a no-fault state. The divorce would go through. The only question was asset division. We mediated the financial split. She wanted more than half because she'd quit her job at my demand. My lawyer countered that she'd quit due to her own misconduct. We settled at 50-50 with her waiving any claim to my retirement accounts since they were primarily funded before marriage. 3 months after I served her papers, the divorce was final. Final update. It's been 6 months since the divorce was finalized. 6 months since that text from the mountains that started everything. My ex-wife reached out last month, wanted to meet for coffee, to talk, to apologize properly. I agreed to meet, mostly out of curiosity. She looked different, older maybe, or just tired. She'd gotten a new job, was seeing a therapist regularly, had moved back closer to her family. "I wanted to apologize," she said. "Really apologize. Not just say I'm sorry, but acknowledge what I did." "Okay. I betrayed you. I lied for months. I built a secret relationship while pretending everything was fine at home. I texted you about freedom because I was trying to justify leaving, but was too cowardly to be direct about it." "Were you with him on that trip?" She was quiet, then nodded. "Yes. He met us there. Told you it was just the girls because I knew you wouldn't approve." "Was the kiss the only physical thing?" "No." There it was. The truth, finally. 6 months too late, but at least it was honest. "Thank you for telling me," I said. "Does it change anything?" "No, but at least I know I made the right decision. I regret everything, not just losing you, but what I became, the lying, the cheating, the selfishness. I wasn't that person before. I don't know what happened. You made choices, over and over. Small choices that added up to destroying your marriage. I know, and I'm sorry. I appreciate the apology, but it doesn't change anything. I know that too." We talked for another hour. She asked about my life. I gave vague answers. She told me about therapy, about what she was learning about herself. I listened without much emotion. When we left, she hugged me. I let her, but didn't hug back. Watched her walk to her car, drive away, disappear from my life again. I don't hate her, don't wish bad things for her, but I also don't care much about what happens to her anymore. She's just someone I used to know. Someone who taught me that trust, once broken completely, can't be repaired, only replaced by something different. I'm dating someone new now. Nothing serious yet, but it's nice. She's straightforward, honest, doesn't play games. When she says she's somewhere, she's there. When she makes plans, she keeps them. Basic things, but after my ex, they feel revolutionary. Looking back at that text, freedom feels better up here, no rules. I realize it was the most honest thing she'd said to me in months. She wanted freedom from our marriage, from commitment, from accountability, from me, and I gave it to her. Just not the way she planned. When she came back from the mountains, ready to continue the double life she'd built, she found the first apology wasn't to me, it was to her own decision, because by then, I'd already set everything in motion. The lawyer, the documentation, the exit plan, and by then, it was already too late. She wanted freedom. She got it. Along with divorce papers, a split of assets, and the consequences of 6 months of lies. I'm 35 years old, I'm divorced, I'm dating again, and I'm free too. Free from someone who saw our marriage as a cage instead of a partnership. She thought no rules meant she could do whatever she wanted without consequence. Turned out the rules still applied. She just didn't like what happened when she broke them.